Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out Business Heroes Street Grub. This is a game that you can find on Steam's Early Access program for about 15 bucks or so. I stress early access, that means everything that you're about to see is most definitely subject to change. So what is this game all about? Well, according to the Steam store page here, it says a turn-based food truck tycoon game and a mashup of classic tycoons with a wacky 90s nostalgia. You'll manage a street cart, expand to food trucks, and sell to quirky customers in a comedic storyline. It has a good amount of management depth, analytics, strategy, and a nostalgic vibe. And I have to stress early access, so stuff will be added to the game over the course of time. And I should also mention that this is a sponsored video, so I won't be reviewing it, but I will be playing it for a while. And if you like what you see here, the Steam store page actually has a demo, so you can try it before you buy it. Let's go ahead and jump now into the game and see how it plays. Alright, so here we are at the main menu. I'm going to go ahead and just jump right into the settings menu so you can actually see what options are available. There's music and sound effects sliders here. You've got some display options. There's both a light mode and a dark mode. I like the dark mode, it's easier on my eyesight. And then you've got font size, but it's coming soon. You also have a full screen and windowed mode toggle here, as well as an animations enabled or disabled feature. Over to units, you can change between Fahrenheit and Celsius, and there's also a clock type there, like AM, PM over here, or you can just do the 24-hour format there. And then you can customize your controls a bit. Some of them are not editable. I don't know if that's going to change over the course of early access or not, but worth mentioning. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, I will mention that I have played this game for about 2.5 hours already. However, a recent patch was recently, uploaded to the game, and that save file may now be buggy. So we're going to start over from scratch so that you can see what everything is right from the start. It just may take a while to actually unlock some of the later content. So I'm going to go ahead and click on New Game. And from here, you can play the tutorial. You can start your career mode. You can go into a sandbox, or you can just play a challenge. Now, if you click on sandbox, I wanted to quickly show you what options you have available, because some people like to skip the career mode and go right into a sandbox environment. So this is what is available in the sandbox should you mess with that. From here, you can adjust your career location. That will change the game difficulty. So for example, Indonesia here, Jakarta, Indonesia, you'll notice on the bottom right behind my head, there we go. There's a little meter there, and the more green it is, the better. So if I clicked on that, it's all the way in the green. But if I click on the US here, it goes up to the lime green / yellow there. So yeah, depending on your starting location, it's going to be slightly more difficult, slightly more easier, that kind of thing. You can also change whether or not you start with just money in your savings account, or if you're starting with a bank loan, and then you can choose how much of that is, you start with here. And then lastly, you can change between meat-based or plant-based burger patties. This does not affect the gameplay. This is all for aesthetics. It's not going to change the difficulty at all. We're going to jump into the career mode, I believe, though, and we're going to be roughly presented with the same options. I'm going to just do, just to keep it simple, do Vince as my CEO name and just DGA Inc. for my company name. And then we'll just, because I live in the US, let's just go ahead and choose Washington, D.C. there. And then we'll go ahead and choose the meat-based patties, and we'll hit Start Game. Now, I've already played this, like I said, for 2.5 hours, so I do have a rough idea as to what to expect. Doors 95. Alright, so I don't know if I want to read all of this off to you, but he's pretty much saying, hey, congratulations, you're about to embark on this, this, and this, and he's going to give you some tips as you go along the way. I'm going to go ahead and leave the tutorial because, again, I've already played this for 2.5 hours. I pretty much know what I'm doing, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit yes. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the interface, and we'll kind of guide you from there. In the upper left-hand corner, we've got the Goals tab selected. This is going to tell me what my next task is and what I should be shooting for. In this case, it wants me to sell 50 burgers in 1 day. And if I do that, I get some money for doing that. And then it'll give me some tips here as well. Test the market and the product, order enough ingredients to make 50 burgers, set a price that attracts enough customers to meet the goal, and observe the customer feedback and the effect of pricing. Now, without getting too deep into this, there are different customer types in this game. You start off in an area that is primarily students, but you'll be able to move your cart to different areas that have different types of customers. You'll still get the occasional like parent or environmentalist where the kids are, but at the same time, primarily in the school playground, whatever it is, going to be a lot of kids, and they will prefer certain products over others. So you kind of have to cater your product to the location that you're in. And I think that's the strategy in this game, is trying to figure out what that burger type is for that particular type of people, and then getting the most out of your money, getting the most out of the business side of it. So let's go ahead and move down to manage here. And this is the current recipe. There's 4 tabs: recipe, prices, ordering, and inventory. From here, we can customize how our burger is going to be presented. So we have right now 1 bun. A burger consists of 1 bun, 1 tomato, 1 lettuce, 1 sauce, 4 patties, and 1 cheese. I think the 4 patties is a bit overkill for what we're doing. We also want to keep costs small in the beginning parts of the game because we don't have a whole lot of money. At least that's my particular strategy. What I like to do is just do 1 of each, because you'll have to buy a lot of patties if you're going to put 4 patties in a single burger. It's like a quad cheeseburger. I mean, that's crazy. Like there's double cheeseburgers, triple cheeseburgers, and you've got a quad burger, I guess. But no, we're going to stick to a single burger for now, and then we can adjust that as we go, because every day we can change this up and we can try different things. Prices. We're going to change the price here. Now it says cost of ingredients $1.06. It's based off of how we defined our recipe. So we come back over here, it says $1.06. Cost of ingredients, profit per burger, $1.71. What I may do is up this a bit. I want to put the profit margin, and again, this is the tough part, because say students might be picky, but at the same time, they don't have a whole lot of money, so you can't price things too high. Whereas other types of customers, say parents, environmentalists, foodies, whatever, are in the game, like they may be more receptive to a high price if their demands are met. But when it comes to students, you kind of have to start low. I'm going to start at $3.50, and then maybe I'll bump that up if I need to. Just keep in mind, if you mess with the recipe, make sure you check back here and adjust your price accordingly. If you add more patties, for example, increase the price. Otherwise, your profit margin's going to go down. Like watch, if I had to put 4 here, yeah, now my profit margin is 47% because the cost of ingredients is now $1.85. So these are things to watch out for while you're playing. So we're going to have our price at $3.50 for right now. Ordering. Now this is where we actually order the patties. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can manually order these boxes of different ingredients, or you can have the calculator do it for you, but there is a fee for doing that. Okay, so in the beginning, it's good just to do it yourself. And the way this works, I'm going to go ahead and just hit like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But you'll notice that the different boxes will give you different amounts of a product. So for example, 1 box of buns is 6 buns, whereas 1 box of tomato is 12 slices. So you just can't do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 and expect to have the same amount of product across the board. If you look down here, it says in stock, plan, and recipe. Pay attention to the plan row in green. So that says 12, 24, 26, 48, 16, 24. That's the actual product that we're getting. We're going to end up with 48 sauces and only 12 buns. So now we've got to play with these numbers a bit so that they're all roughly the same if we can. And it says here enough for 12 burgers. The number of burgers that is available, that number there is calculated based on the lowest number in this row. So it says enough for 12 burgers. We've got 12 buns. So even though we've got 24 slices of tomatoes, even though we've got 48 sauce, we only have 12 buns, which is how this 12 is calculated. If we bump up the lowest number, now it says 16 burgers. The lowest number is the patties now at 16. So you can see how you kind of have to pay attention to this row as well while you're ordering. Like I said, you can use the inventory calculator on the bottom here in order to just tell the computer, I want you to order enough boxes of each to get me this many burgers. But there's typically a fee. So if I hit 50 down here, calculator fee is $10.62. And it'll automatically order what I need to make that happen. But I'm not going to do that. Rather, I'm going to just play around with these numbers a bit. I want 50 burgers. That's the goal. I'm trying to sell 50 burgers. So I'm going to get enough for about 50 of each. I'm gonna make sure that all of them are over the 50 mark. That's 48. That's 72. And that is 48, 56. There we go. And then lastly, 60. Yeah, that's good. Now, spoilage. That's another thing in this game. The cheese and the patties are an expiring ingredient, meaning if I don't get cold storage, they get wasted at the end of the day. That's bad. I think one of the first things that I purchased in my prior playthrough was a freezer or cold storage so that this didn't happen. So I'll show you research in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and order this $62.30. I'll go ahead and order that. Okay, that's enough for 52 burgers, which, again, 50 is our goal. Inventory, this just tells us what we have in stock and what we're about to get once we hit the end day or whatever. So we can see that this amount is coming in. And then we're going to jump to the research tab. Now, I'm not going to show you all of these, but this is the research tree here. It's more long lengthwise than it is height-wise. The first thing I want to do probably is find the freezer, and recipe feedback is another good one because you really won't know how your customers feel about your burger without this option. So I'm going to start with recipe feedback. I'm just going to click on it and go start new queue. It's going to take 1 day to do it. There's a little calendar. It says 1D on it. I'm going to go ahead and hit start new queue. And as we go up the tree, we will unlock like tier 2, tier 3, and so on. So let's go ahead and see if I can find, let's see, rookie stand manager. Unlock the ability to own more food stands and manage workers. I don't think we're there yet, but in order to get a larger cart, I will have to go up this tree at some point. Let's see if we can find, Arctic cooler box. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get that going. Customized sauce. If I get customized sauce on my cart, I will get a +10 to food and service quality. You are rated based on like how well your food is doing too. So you want to look for those modifiers, those positive modifiers if you can. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the queue as well. So I've got a couple of things added to the queue. And I think, yeah, there we go. All right, so I think that's good for now. We'll go ahead and hit close on that. Now, again, I've got the goals, I've got the manage, I've got the research here. So all of that, we've looked at that. And what else can we look at before we move on? We can see that we're at the noisy playground on the top part of the screen next to my money over here. It says noisy playground, and it actually describes the type of customers that are there. It says main customers, students, okay? And it gives a little flavor text. And then below that, or to the right of that, it says current population, economic happiness, various effects that will happen. Every day something weird happens, and it could be positive or negative. So there's that. And we can see what time of day it is, as well as the current temperature. Depending on the temperature, it might affect customer patience, for example. It says customer patience -15, so that's bad. So yeah, these are things to look out for as we go. So I think that's enough preamble. Let's go ahead and hit the play button down here. Luckily, if you miss, say, research, if you have research available, it'll actually say research in place of that play button, or place order instead of that play button. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. And kind of like in the game Lemonade Tycoon, we really have no control over this other than to just Yeah, that poor chicken. We're going to go ahead and zoom in. We can't do much here. I mean, we can change the ingredients and the price on the fly if we really want to. But for the sake of like keeping a consistent series of data, I want to just watch and see how the people react to this. And I can fast forward as well. Okay, customer feedback. Now behind me on the bottom there, it says research recipe perfectionist to see feedback. So the game is telling me in order to see how they feel about this, you need to research. I've already queued that up. So I know that. I really won't get a whole lot of feedback from today. Now, if you look closely enough, it says 44 right here, 44 burgers and 0 drinks. Drinks are available once we unlock the cold storage. But we're down to 37 burgers already. I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward time. People are buying. They're not complaining too much. There was a little yellow thing up here that said slow service. That's some majestic motion. Yeah, they're very sarcastic in this game. They're very insulting when they want to be. So speed, not much you can do about that in the beginning. You will be able to train your employees as you play to make them faster and better. Okay. So let's go ahead and just wait this out and see. Yeah, we're down to 7 burgers. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time again. We didn't get to 50, unfortunately, but there's always tomorrow. All right, so how did we do? Overall rating, 4.5. It's not terrible. Okay, expired ingredients down there. We kind of knew that going in. We did unlock that research feedback, which is going to be great for us. Okay, so we earned $33.68. Not a bad first day. Let's go ahead and close that down. And I'm gonna just restock and do everything all over again. Because profit was so tight there, I am not going to automatically calculate this. My goal is just to get the numbers as close to 50 as possible, like just over 50. That includes this 9 here. So 51 is what I'm shooting for. 51 is what I'm going to get if I place this order right now. So I just need to look at the green row. 51, 51, 59, 51. That's good. We expired all of that. So 56 and then 60. Okay, we're going to order $48.30 worth of product. And we're going to hit play again. And we're going to hit fast forward. Stuff is getting delivered. All right, I'll hit fast forward just so we can get this going. I'm mainly looking for yellow and red feedback down here to make sure that I'm not doing anything terribly wrong. I already know ahead of time that I'm slow. Oh, look at that. We are out of stock. Once that happens, there's nothing you can really do except wait out the rest of the day. So, but we did it. We got the 50 that we needed in order to complete that first goal. We earned $50.88. We did lose some ingredients due to expiration. However, we should be unlocking that that one research any time. Let's see. Oh, I think we did that Arctic cooler box.
And start selling drinks with the Arctic cooler box. Keep ingredients fresh.
She's reading to me. All right, awesome. Okay, so she's telling us that we unlocked the cooler box. We have this customized sauce queued up. Let's go ahead and what else can we do? Increase the stand's cold storage capacity. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my queue. And this one is an upgrade to the existing wagon. I think I'll start researching that. And I want training to happen at some point so I can make my guy better. So I'm going to go ahead and queue that up. And then that'll then queue the, yep, so I've got this going as well. All right, so we have 5 different things queued up to be researched. And from there, we need to restock our stand. We can also upgrade our stand now, but you'll need to keep in mind that you have limits to your upgrades. You just can't throw upgrades onto your cart willy-nilly and have like 15 upgrades on your starter cart. It's not going to happen. If you go to Manage and then Vehicle, there's a workers tab, which it's just us right now. We can actually see my work quality is 50, my work speed is 50. We can improve that through training once we unlock it. Right now, we don't have that. That Burger Boss level 1 is not yet unlocked. So we can go to vehicle instead, and this Arctic box is now available to us. And it's going to cost us $220 to enable this. Now, that will increase our capacity and drink storage, as well as keep our perishables fresher for longer. But it depreciates over time, so if you want to sell it later, it's going to go down. All of these other things are currently locked, but I am going to buy this straight away. There's nothing worse than losing the patties and the cheese to just spoil it. It's just money you're throwing out the window. That's one of the first things I get. But you'll notice down here it says vehicle upgrade slots 1 out of 3. So we have 3 slots available, one of which is now the Arctic box. We have 2 more upgrade slots available. This is what I was saying earlier. You just can't throw all of these upgrades onto your carts. Once you get bigger carts, yeah, you can afford more on there. But for right now, you can only get 3. Some have upgrades built into the vehicle. So that's also really cool. So don't double dip if you get to that point. Let's go ahead and hit play. Actually, did we order food? Manage, recipes, prices. Okay, prices. Our drink price. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now that we've got the drinks available because we bought that coolage or that cooler storage, let's go ahead and up this to maybe 70% for right now. Yeah, we'll do 70 cents. I don't know if that's a good price or not. You will unlock something called pricing survey later on in the game, again, through that tech tree, where you can pay money to ask customers, hey, what do you think of this current price? And different student, like the different customer types, like the students, the parents, the environmentalists, they'll give you different feedback based on that. So right now, people are buying our burgers. I'm going to play with the price a little bit. Let's just do increments of 5 cents at a time, and then we'll scale it back if we need to later. I want to see what I can get away with, okay? And small increments is the best way to do that, so as long as you're still making a profit. I was making a profit the last couple of days, so I can afford to kind of just go slow with it. I'm not in any hurry. You can take out loans at some point, but I'm not a loan kind of guy. The developer did mention to me that loans were an integral part of the game so that you didn't have to sit there and grind out money all the time. But it bothers me so much to be in debt. You have no idea. You have no idea. So anyway, we're going to leave our prices here and then we're going to start ordering stuff. Let's go ahead and let's do 60. Because these don't perish. So we'll try and get as close to 60 as we can without going under. That's too much. You got to be careful, though, because if you order too much food and you're not selling enough, then you're going to have all this product. And, now that we've got a cooler, though, these things aren't going to expire as quickly anyway. And then the drinks, we'll do, say, 60 or so. Now, is that good? That's enough for 60 burgers. I think that's a good start. And now we've got a drink target down here. If we want to use the calculator, we can do that. Again, I'm not going to bother doing that. I did at some point in my previous playthrough, I unlocked auto reorder, which means I don't have to keep doing this all the time. The game just automatically reorders the same amount that I did the previous day. It'll just automate this, which is very convenient. But for right now, with our income only being like $30, $40, it's best if we just do it manually for right now. So let's go ahead and order that. And I think we're ready to start the day. We'll go ahead and hit play, hit fast forward. And again, our recipe is still the same. We want to unlock Recipe Perfectionist in order to see more detailed information. Every customer type has a perfect recipe. So it's just a matter of finding it. Playing around with the different recipes until you find it. But for right now, all we're interested in is just keeping our heads above water long enough to unlock other recipes. Or other technologies, I should say. Oh, we got a red there. What was that all about? I want to see what that was, if it's going to let me. Nope, something happened. There we go. I don't know why, but that button was frozen for me. I couldn't select it. Wait is too long, was young, and now I'm old. Okay. So we did lose some money that day. And you know why we lost money? Because we didn't sell all of our products and our cost for our ingredients were higher because we bought more of them. But that's okay. As long as we're still we're still selling the same amount. So I'm okay with that. Okay. So let's go ahead and jump back into the playground view there. All right, sell 50 drinks in one day. That is our next goal. All right, let's go ahead and restock our stand. And I guess we'll just keep doing that. We'll do roughly 60. Yep, try and keep the number around 60. Now, because we have excess from the previous day, the cost of these ingredients it's not gonna be as high, the total cost anyway. 64, 68. We want 60's fine. We'll order that. $52.40 there. And did we get any upgrades? Customized sauce will get us plus 10 food and service quality. I'm going to go ahead and spend the money and upgrade that. That'll make our burgers a bit more attractive, I think. And that's something that we want. So let's go ahead and just hit play. Breaking news. So this is the special event stuff that I was talking about. Flash sale alert. Suppliers are slashing upgrade prices, so we got to benefit from that. Okay. I didn't get to read all of it, but it was a good thing. It was a good thing. We'll go ahead and hit play. Fast forward and see how this works. Now, my goal, like I said in the early parts of the game, just keep your head above water, keep making money, try and stay in the green, but most importantly, just get those technologies unlocked. Wow, we're out of stock. Beautiful. That was good. Our net profit is $5.46. So we may want to increase the price of our burgers, possibly our drinks too. We'll mess around with that too. But again, all I'm really interested in right now is unlocking those new technologies. So let's go to prices. Let's go ahead and up this to maybe, let's do $3.65. We'll up this to 75 cents. See how they feel about that. Our profit margin per burger is 71%, and profit margin per drink is 72%. I'm curious to see how they feel about that. Let's go ahead and put this up to, again, 60 was a nice number. 66. We'll take a look at our goals here in a minute, but 66 there. Execute order 66. All right, so we've got 62 burgers there. What is our current goal? And you can always cancel the order and then redo it and then resubmit, which is nice. So achieve a reputation of 10 out of 100 on any stand. Reputation is pretty much just like, so as long as your reputation will go up, so as long as your customers are not complaining about things. Right now I'm super slow, so my reputation probably isn't going to be really, really great right now. So yeah. But we want to train that soon. Let's take a look here. Yeah, we're in the works. That is currently in the works. That's going to be about 3 days from now. That'll be done. I'd love to be able to drag things on this, like to reorder them, but you can always just X out the existing ones and then bring that forward. I'm fine with waiting a couple of days. So yeah, I think we are good to go. Reputation. Okay, we need our business barometer. We'll go ahead and add that to our queue as well. I also want that recipe perfectionist, but before we can unlock that, we have to unlock some of these. Maybe we'll do these antibacterial wipes. That's going to improve our stand appearance by 10 and our stand food and service quality by 5. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our queue as well. And performance summary, because why not? I want to get to this recipe perfectionist. Okay. I think we ordered everything, so we'll hit play. Fast forward. Off we go. I like to keep the prices menu up like this. just so I can quickly reduce them if I think it's too high. We got a new record. I did see some yellow up here. Slow service. Why so slow? Chasing a lettuce. Okay. And we are almost out of food again. Okay, that's not bad. We pretty much sold everything. That's great. Our profit's going to be roughly the same if I had to guess. Wow, $117. That's actually really good. Okay. And yeah, that was burger sales, drink sales, cost of goods, stand operation costs. Okay. Yeah, not terrible. Okay. Well, that was a good day. That was a really good day. We also unlocked our Maxi Burger Wagon. That is an upgrade to our existing wagon if we want a better wagon. Let's take a look and see how much that's... Oh, yeah, 3,000. I'm not ready for that yet. What that will get us, more storage space. It says 5,340. Stand appearance 3, worker slot 1, upgrade slots 3. So roughly the same amount of upgrade slots. This has 3 as well, and this has 3. This does have a built-in upgrade, though, and that is portable beats. Customer patience plus 15. Okay, so yeah, I don't think we need to do this yet. That is something that I am going to look into, but for right now, I want to keep my money... I want to keep enough in reserve in case crap hits the fan. Let's go ahead and do 60-ish again. And now that we're high enough, we can probably use this calculator. Even though it's going to take a little longer to make a lot of money because, you know, it does eat into our profit. But, okay. And we'll order that. Beautiful. Okay. And is our goal still the same? Yes, it is. Achieve a reputation of 10 out of 100. And that's not going to change until I get faster. So let's just go ahead and hit play. The sound of the coins, like, jiggling, that's just so satisfying. Okay, we're out of stock. Now you'll notice that we did not stick around to sell drinks. And that's something that's probably, I think, could be better explained. In order to sell a drink, you have to have burgers. So I guess in the future, I need to order less drinks and more burgers. Because I just wish I would stay there and just finish off my drinks. People walk by, you want a drink? You know, something like that. But it looks like your drinks are like a side product to the burger. And it's like they're mandatory. $121. I can't argue with that. We're going to go ahead and restock. And let's go ahead and do the whole calculator thing now. We'll do 65 and we'll do 50 drinks. How about that? And that is going to be $15.88. We'll hit calculate. And yep, we have enough for 70 burgers. We'll hit play. And off we go. Now again, keep in mind, special events will change how receptive people are into buying your stuff. Do you remember a Lemonade Tycoon from way back in the day? If it was raining, you wouldn't get any customers and you wouldn't make any money. It's same concept, except this is a bit more complicated. Yeah, 23 burgers. We didn't get a whole lot there, but so we probably didn't make a whole lot of money. Probably lost some. Oh, no, $74. Okay. Okay. Burger Boss level 1. That's what we needed. Okay, so if we go back to workers, and I can train for 300. This is why I didn't upgrade my cart right away, because I want to save some money for training. I'm going to go ahead and hit train. Now my work quality and work speed is 60 out of 100. Okay, so that's going to make me even better. And I want to get that going too at some point. Yeah, let's go ahead and research level 2. Great. There's also a sun and rain barrier, but I believe that's an upgrade. Customer patience and stand food, and this is the decision you have to make, right? Do I buy this as my third upgrade? Instead, do I go with a music channel and increase customer patience? so I don't have to train as much. It's up to you on how you want to handle that. So what I've got going there is fine for right now. We'll restock. I will have to calculate this and then hit play. Breaking news. All right. Not bad. It's the perfect time to level up. I don't know if that was a bug or not, but I couldn't read it. Maybe because I hit play or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was going by way too quick. It was a positive bonus. I knew that. So, all right. We're just going to hit fast forward here. We can hit the news button. If we go to the left-hand side and go to news, this is what we got. A city grant for educational initiatives has slashed training costs by 20%. Perfect time to level up your team. Now you tell me. I literally just leveled up my guy. So you know how it is, right? It's Murphy's Law. Anything bad that can happen will happen. Okay. Well, All right. I like it. Keep it going. Keep it going. Beautiful. All right. 8 burgers and 3 drinks remaining after all of that. All right. $100. I'll take it. We now have the business barometer unlocked.
Track your stand's reputation, food and service quality, and appearance stats, and use the insights to enhance your business performance. To see this data, head to the stand's info section in the Manage tab on the left sidebar.
All right. Well, I guess we'll head there. So manage. Oh, we got something. Progress bar down there. Okay. So, yeah, product, vehicle. There's workers there. Oh, the reputation is right here. Stand reputation. We have, 12.33 out of 100. So it looks like we probably beat that one goal. We were aiming for 10 out of 100 there. Stand appearance is 2 out of 100. Not great. Service is 59.65 out of 100. So this can only go up over time as we get better and better things. Let's take a look at our goals real quick. Train any worker to food truck captain level 2. That's what we're currently doing right now. I have that queued up on our research, so there's nothing else to do but let time fly and we'll wait. We'll calculate this here and then hit play. Now, on the top here, we see noisy playground. That's where we're at right now. But we can actually go to other areas. We have to unlock them, but we can go to other areas, and that will also unlock the different other types of customers. You'll also notice here, we have green instead of yellow and red. That's because my character is trained now to like level 1 or whatever it is. His service is way better, and we're getting service quality bonuses, 0.6. So that's what we want to see. All right. We didn't sell 16 burgers and 5 drinks, but yeah. Oh well. Hey, I'm fine with that. Just as long as it's in the green, I'm happy. Antibacterial wipes. So that's an upgrade to our cart. Might be something to think about. That's going to get us appearance of +10, food and service quality +5. That's going to be our 3rd slot, though. I'm going to go ahead and do it, because why not? We can always sell them off and replace them with other things if we want to. But for right now, I might as well add it on there. And let's go ahead and order more food. We'll hit calculate down here. We are very close to getting that 1 star. Hit play. Now, while this is happening, let's go ahead and click on the city view, just so you can see some of the other locations that you can move to. Not only do you have a cart, but you can move it to different areas. In fact, the noisy playground has 2 available spot stands. So you can like move your cart from one spot to another spot. You can see the stats here. There's a permit fee, the cost of doing business in that area every day. You can see how many customers are there typically, the population size. But through the research tree, you will also unlock these other locations, national landmarks, Park Central, that's the environmentalists. The street corner, that's the parents' location. The big station, staff. Then you've got influencers in the glam and hip street. Okay. Landmark, national landmark, that's tourists and so on. So you're going to be unlocking more customer types as you go, and they are going to be probably pickier than the ones you've seen before. The students don't care, so as long as it's cheap, it seems like. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward time so we can get this day ended. We're out of stock, because of course we are. Hey, $37. Again, keep in mind that income, that's going to fluctuate. That's going to fluctuate every day. Even though I sold more, you know, various events will kick in and cause this to be fluctuating. And plus we had like a certain stock of inventory before the day started. Sometimes it's higher. Next day it might be lower. It all depends on where everything lands. But okay, let's go ahead and restock our stand. We'll hit calculate, hit play. Another news flash, huh? I accidentally appeared in a music video? Okay. Vince's stand appearance plus 10 for 3 days. Okay, well, I accidentally appeared. It must have been like one of those spontaneous street music video things that I see on the internet. We'll fast forward time. I will check my research in a moment. Well, that's a lot of people. Okay. I saw that line. It was pretty big. And we're selling out. That was... Okay. Even though our appearance was higher, that's probably why there were so many people waiting in line. But I think I can afford to increase the price a little bit just to see what that does. We're going to manage prices. Maybe we'll bump this up to $3.70. And how about 80 cents? Are they going to go for that? We'll see. 74% profit margin, 71%. Yeah, I guess we'll find out. How are we doing on research?
Elevate worker skills to level 2 for faster service and better customer relations. Head to the worker training section.
I will do that. Okay, and we don't have anything queued up either. Let's go ahead and queue up. Let's see. I want... That's expensive. Level 3. Grill Master, pricing survey. I'll unlock that for your benefit. I don't need that right now, but I'll show you how that works once I unlock it. Advertising, I don't bother with that. If I'm selling out regularly, I don't bother with the advertising. That may be something later down the line that I'll look at, but I typically never do this. There may be a benefit to doing that, getting more customers and then buying more stock. But you have a limited amount of space in your cart, so you can only hold so much product. So I typically never do this unless I've got a lot of storage space. Let's go ahead and unlock parents there. And these are all different types of people, foodies, influencers. Let's do the level 3. That's going to cost 2 days. Cash register. Speed up customer payments. I think that's an upgrade, but we'll go ahead and do that anyway. Cashless machine. We'll go ahead and add that to our queue. The auto reorder. I should have done that first, but that would have been nice to have. Okay, money tracker. And okay, we've got 11 days worth of research added to our queue at this point. Okay. So I think that's good. We're going to restock our stand, hit calculate. Do I want more? All right, maybe not today. I increased my price. Let's see how that goes. Let's see how that goes. All right. Doing pretty well. Got a yellow there. I'm guessing. Yeah, look at that line. People are pissed. Okay. It's a very angry dog. Did we sell enough to make a profit? Yeah, we did. Of course we did. I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. My rating tanked because, well, you know. Yeah. Let's go to... How are the prices? I mean, they were still buying. Let's up this. I'm going to keep this at 80. I'm going to bump this up to $3.80 and see how they feel about that. Restock stand. Let's go ahead and up this to 75 burgers and say 55 drinks. Calculate. Now, on the very top, it says we've used 77% worth of storage. Keep in mind, even though we have enough for 76 burgers right now, if we add, say, more lettuce to the recipe or another burger patty to the recipe, you're going to see this fill up very, very quickly. Very quickly. And you will see that as we unlock the Recipe Perfectionist 1. When is that going to happen? Oh, we didn't even add it. I don't want to start a new queue. I need that right away. I wish there was a way to like move that down. Let's go ahead and let's start a new queue. How about that?
Get a live summary of your business.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just want to start a new queue. There we go. I think I need that straight away, and I'll just have to redo the ones. I think we were going to do pricing surveys, so you can take a look at that. The student saver, this is an interesting one. This kind of attracts students only, and this is important because, like I said earlier, different customer types will have different perfect recipes. So I think the strategy in this game is, in the area that you're in, cater to the people that are prominently in that area and only to them. And this can help you do that for the students. And that's something I may want at some point. Let's go ahead and add this to our queue. I don't remember what else I had added before, so I'll just kind of pick random ones. An extra bigger trailer, the auto reorder. Forgot about that. Money tracker. All right, there we go. Good enough. It's going to get unlocked at some point anyway, right? All right, let's just make sure that we ordered what we did. Sometimes I forget. Yeah, it looks like we did. Cancel order is shown here. We'll hit play. I did up the price, so I need to keep an eye on that. Are they going to think it's too expensive? So far, no. So far, no. We should probably get him trained. Not bad. I think we hit a record there. Yeah, $322, $162.59 today. Not bad at all. Okay, let's go ahead and train our guy again. $500. That's going to eliminate those problem people that can't wait, hopefully. And we'll restock, we'll hit calculate, and off we go. Let's see if that makes a huge difference. They didn't complain about the price either, so I'm not going to touch it for a day or two. We can always bump this up to maybe $3.85, see how they feel about that. Oh, wow, look at that line. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to order more burgers, possibly, and increase the price. All right, restock stand. How do we do this time? Oh, $172. Fine with me. Okay. Let's manage our price again. Let's do $3.85. Okay. Again, slow increments. Slow. We got that done. Ordering. We'll calculate. Let's do 80 burgers and 60 drinks. All right, we're getting close to full there. But like I said, if we add lettuce, whatever, that will affect the storage amount. There's a separate storage, one for normal and one for the cold storage. So just so you know. Hit play. Not breaking news. What happens now? Upgrade prices minus 20% for 3 days. Okay. Wow, what happened? Let's go. There we go. I'm trained and ready to go. We're going to get this done. We were sold out by now. It must be a slow day. Still not bad. Still not bad. We had 32 burgers left over. We'll make it up tomorrow. All right, 91 bucks. Yeah, we sold about 100 less. 110 less than what we did yesterday. That could have been some kind of event or the weather, anything. So, restock. Let's just see how that... We'll leave the price alone for right now. Let's take a look at our research and see what's still going here. The pricing survey.
Ingredients in your recipe that are the perfect amount. Discover the perfect recipe faster. Find this information in the feed.
All right, so we unlocked that whole perfect recipe thing. And now it says the amount of lettuce and cheese is just perfect. Tomatoes is perfect. So now we're going to have to like make adjustments to possibly the sauce and the patties. Maybe it's like a double patty, double sauce kind of thing. Let's play out one more day here and see what other feedback we get. Okay, yeah, lettuce and cheese is just perfect, okay? Okay. They're very happy with that lettuce and cheese. Oh, and the tomato. So lettuce, tomato, cheese, that's okay. So the only thing that we can adjust is the patties and the sauce. So if I had to guess, maybe a double patty, double sauce. Or maybe they don't like the sauce. Maybe they don't want any. I don't know. Now we have to play around a little bit and see if we can figure that out. 127 bucks. I'm fine with that. The price being increased may have something to do with that. I don't know. We'll just leave the price alone for right now and see if it goes back up to 300, 330, whatever later on. We also have this pricing survey we just unlocked. That might be something to look at just for your benefit. Here it is. So $3.85. I can pay 40 bucks to ask them, hey, do you like the pricing structure? The students say this feels normal. Everyone else the parents feels that it's affordable. We haven't unlocked the other customer types yet in the tech tree. So as we do, they will appear in this grid. And then as far as the drink price, they both find this okay. So I'm going to up this to 85 cents. Okay. So we spent 60 bucks there, but yeah, fine. Okay, as far as trying to get that recipe down, what if we took away sauce? And I can't imagine they would want to eat a burger without a burger. So I think they might want 2 patties instead of, let's just do 2 patties and 0 sauce. I want to see what kind of feedback we get from that. But we have to, I think, reorder everything. Let's hit calculate. There we go. So now we probably didn't order any. Yeah, we did not order any sauce because now the recipe doesn't call for sauce, right? So we'll hit play and see what they feel about this. Not enough sauce. Okay, Sahara called for tips. That tells me that I went in the wrong direction with sauce. I guess they want double sauce, not no sauce. But now we know. So the next day, even though we're going to take a hit here, I know the next day to order more sauce. We'll double it up. Double up the sauce. They're not complaining about the burger meat, though. So that tells me I'm probably in the right direction. Okay. We still sold quite a bit. Let's see how much that was. Okay. Oh, $3.50. There we go. Okay. Let's do 2 sauce, 2 patties. Fine. Cost per burger's $1.51. That will affect our current profit margin. So let's up this to... Let's do $4. I mean, it's still not a great... what if we did $4? Wow, $5. The students are not going to be happy with that. $4.50. Let's see how they feel about that, and then we'll slowly increase it. I'll keep this as is. Ordering. We want 80 burgers, 60 drinks, calculate. Woo, look at that. Our cold storage utilization is now at 96.69%. Reason being, we added more patties to the recipe and we added more sauce. So like, yeah, we literally cannot order any more burgers now unless we scale back the recipe or we buy a bigger cart. So we'll keep it like this just to see if they like the recipe. We'll hit play. Breaking news. Playground plus 15% for 1 day. That's the population. Okay, not bad. So more customers, potential customers anyway. Let's keep an eye on the prices. I may have priced that too high. Too expensive. Let's tone that down. We're going to take a hit. We'll do $4.25. See how they feel about that. That's what sucks about like trying to get the perfect recipe. They want the perfect recipe, but they don't want to pay for it. They don't want to pay for anything. $3.90? Yes, no? I think that's apparent, though. Oh, there we go. $3.90 seems to be acceptable. The amount of meat, lettuce... Okay, so everything there is perfect. That's great. What about tomatoes, though? Maybe we don't have enough tomatoes? Or maybe... Wait is too long. Wait is too long. How do you feel about the tomatoes? No one wants to give me any feedback about tomatoes. I've got everything perfect except for the tomatoes. I wonder if the tomatoes was feedback was from a parent as opposed to a student. That might be throwing off my initial calculation. So, but if I order more, if I add tomatoes to this, I'm not going to have any room. Let's see if I do. Let's see if I do. We'll add a tomato to this. This is going to hurt. $3.95. Let's ordering. Let's see if I have enough. Calculate. Okay, I barely. So, yeah, 97% utilization on normal, 93% utilization on frozen stuff. Oof. Okay, but hopefully we found the perfect recipe. 2 tomatoes, 1 lettuce, 2 sauce, 2 patties, 1 cheese. But the students don't want to pay for it. I am so tempted to say, you know what? I'm going to give you back your single burger patty and you're going to like it because you don't want to pay for it. I'll move on to the parent neighborhood where they'll be willing to pay higher prices for a perfect product. So I may I may revert back to a cheaper, low-cost burger for these students just to keep the money flowing without having to upgrade this too much. Because if they don't want to pay the money, then why am I working so hard? You know? Playground plus 12% for 1 day. Okay. Ah, there we go. You found the perfect recipe for students. So now they are happy with this recipe. All right, we'll hit play. Now, the good thing about this, I could leave it this way. I would get +2 to my food reviews. Impact +2. So the benefit to keeping it this way, even though I may not make as much money, is that my reputation should go up. My review score will be great. So the question is, do I keep it this way or do I revert back to a low costing burger for these people because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay top dollar, right? I could try upping this to $4. You know, well, let's see how much money I make out of this. Okay. Wow. Oh, look at that. 5 stars. 145 bucks. That's not terrible. If I can leave things the way they are and not do anything else, that's what I'll make typically. And I can use that money. I can focus my efforts now on a second cart, maybe in the parent neighborhood, and start building up my income and my business with them. I think that's where I'm gonna go with that. Just leave this cart alone. I am tempted to upgrade it, but I see no reason to, because again, in order for me to really see a return on that investment, I would need to make a lot of money, and the students aren't going to make me a lot of money. They don't want to pay for it. So I've got some thinking to do as to whether or not I want to continue like upgrading the stand. As I mentioned earlier, there is a second slot. I could buy a second stand here, repeat that process. However, I have to keep in mind there's only so much population in an area. I don't want to like compete with my own business, as it were. I may leave the one cart here and then open up a second cart in that new neighborhood that I unlocked. This is the street corner. So here's the street corner. I could buy a stand here, and this is predominantly run by parents with a 6.2% population of students. So I'm gonna have to try and find their perfect recipe to make them happy. But for right now, I think this is a good stopping point. Assuming that you guys enjoy this video and I get enough views on it, I'll be happy to continue making more of these videos. So I would need to see positive feedback from, you guys. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever it is you kids do nowadays. That'd be wonderful. So yeah, give this game a look. Like I said, there is a free demo on the Steam store page. So if you like what you see here, check that out. And the game is roughly 15 bucks. Keep in mind it is early access, so things will be added over the course of development. Things may change, you know the drill. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.